Once upon a time, in the sparkling kingdom of Miraloon, where rivers glowed under moonlight and the air smelled like jasmine all year round, there lived a princess named Amara. She was unlike any other royal, curious, kind-hearted, and always barefoot. That's because Amara was born with a peculiar curse, or perhaps a hidden gift. On the day of her birth, a mysterious enchantress appeared in the palace nursery. She wore robes of wind and stars, and her voice sounded like distant chimes. She gently kissed the baby's feet and whispered, "She shall walk the world in shoes no one can see, only the worthy will sense their presence." Then she vanished into a gust of wind. At first, her royal parents were terrified. They searched the kingdom for clues about the spell, but the old wise woman of the mountains simply said, "Let her grow. The shoes will carry her where her heart must go." So Princess Amara grew up seemingly barefoot, though she swore she could feel soft soles hugging her feet every time she stepped onto stone or climbed grassy hills. "I am wearing shoes," she would insist. "They're just different." The kingdom, however, had its doubts. Many nobles called her the barefoot princess. Whispers spread. She is cursed, she is strange, she must be hiding something. But Amara didn't mind. She danced in the gardens under starlight. She climbed trees with village children and raced across castle walls without ever getting a scratch. And the most magical part? Wherever she walked, something wonderful happened. Flowers would bloom even in snow. Sick animals would follow her and heal, and sad people would suddenly smile. The people began to call her the Princess of Miracles. One day, news came from the northern border. A great chasm had torn open in the mountains after an earthquake, cutting off villages from the rest of the kingdom. Bridges had collapsed, and no horses or carts could cross. Food was scarce, and children were falling ill. The king summoned his advisors. "We must wait for the engineers," they said. "It's too dangerous. The rocks are still shifting." But Amara stood tall. "Then I will go," she said. Gasps filled the hall. "Alone, on foot, through the crumbling cliffs?" her mother cried. Amara nodded. "The villagers need us. My shoes will carry me." The king knew he could not stop her. So, with a satchel of medicine and bread, Princess Amara set out, barefoot to all who watched, but guided by the invisible shoes only she could feel. The journey was treacherous. Cracks opened beneath her. The wind howled through the canyons. But Amara kept walking, each step guided by something deep inside her. On the third day, she reached a broken rope bridge swinging wildly above the chasm. There was no other way. She hesitated. Then, with her hand over her heart, she stepped forward. To everyone's astonishment, villagers watching from afar, soldiers looking through spyglasses, she walked across the air as if the bridge were still whole. Each step shimmered beneath her feet, revealing a glowing path just for a moment, then vanishing again. The invisible shoes had become visible to all. The villagers cried tears of joy. They called her an angel. But Amara simply smiled and helped them to safety, carrying children, sharing medicine, and comforting the sick. When she returned to the castle, word of her bravery and magic had spread across the land. An old traveler came to the palace gates and asked to see her. He wore silver rings on every finger and smelled like the ocean breeze. "You have awakened the enchantress's gift," he said, bowing low. "The shoes were never a curse. They are a blessing for one who walks with compassion." From that day on, the people no longer whispered behind her back. Instead, they sang songs of the princess with invisible shoes. And Amara? She kept walking across villages, valleys, and even foreign land, helping those in need, bringing light where there was darkness. The invisible shoes never wore out, because as long as she walked with love, they never would. Moral of the story: Sometimes what makes you different is your greatest strength. When you walk with kindness and courage, even invisible paths can carry you to places others only dream of.